Welcome to the Netivot Shalom counting of Sefira, the period between Pesach, the second day of Pesach, and Shavuos. We're counting up to the time of receiving the Torah. The time of Sefira gives us the opportunity to improve ourselves, to make us ready to receive the Torah. Just as introduction, in this process, we are coming from the time of giving the Omer, which was an offering of barley on the second night of Pesach, until we get to Shavuos, where we give Shtei Alechem, we give breads, offering of wheat. The difference is barley is eaten by animals and bread by human beings. So our process along this way is to go from our animal instincts to our human instincts and become a human being capable of serving God. This is a process of Tahara and Kedusha, purifying ourselves and making ourselves holy. And the Netivot Shalom is going to talk about how this works. So here we're going to do the one, Sheva Shabbosos Timimos Tiyena, which is the Netivot Shalom on this week's Parsha Emor. And it starts as follows. Mama Mor Admor Beveis Avraham Shoshalenu. He says, Sheva Shabbosos Timimos Tiyena. The Torah tells us you should count seven complete Sabbaths, complete, full. Says L'chol Pachos, the very least is that Shabbosos Tiyena Temimos. These Sabbaths shall be complete. Yesh Lomar Mamrez al Pi Divrei HaRamchal, Mesilas Yesharim, and the Ramchal said in the Mesilas Yesharim, Binyan Madrega Tahara V'Kedusha, on the aspect of talking about the difference between purity, Tahara, and Kedusha, holiness. He says that Tahara, what does Tahara mean? Purity. In Yona Parishos Mehara, means separating yourself from those things that are bad. Ach Bezeh, Adai Lo Yila Kedusha, but having done that, you still haven't reached a state of holiness. You might have reached a state of purity, but not holiness. Kedusha, He Madrega Al Yona Shanasa Kadosh K'Mizbeach U'Ka'echal. Holiness is a higher level where you are becoming holy, like something that was offered in the Beis Hamikdash, on the Mizbeach, and in the sanctuary. V'chol inyanim hagashmim kedushim kekabaros, and all of your material things become holy, just like the sacrifices. V'hina yemei Sefira shem hachana likras kabbalas haTorah. The days of Sefira, as I said at the beginning, are the preparation to receiving the Torah. Yodim lahasig bahem eshtei hamadregos tahar v'kedusha, to be able to reach the two levels of purity and holiness. After we count the Sefira each night, there's a special tefillah, Ribono Shel Olam. We ask you, O God, today, to make us holy, to make us just not holy, to make us pure from those negative things that we tumoseinu, and from those defilements, the chula and so on. We shall become pure and holy with the holiness of above. These two things, tahara b'kliposeinu, purifying yourself from the negativity, the negative things in your life, and becoming holy with the holiness of above. Torah, lo dai rak to get to the point of receiving the Torah, it is not enough to just make yourself pure from the negative things and the defilement. But you need the next level also, the level of holiness. Is Kadesh to become pure and holy with the holiness of above. Yesh Lomer, We say the B'yomei HaChol during the weekdays, so Sefira, of the weekdays of counting Sefira, our job is to purify ourselves, to reach that level of purity by separating from those things that are bad. Ulam ikar hachana likras kavas Torah, he was shabbosos shel Sefira. But the most important way of getting to the point of receiving the Torah is through the 7 different Shabbatot during the Sefira. Sheva Shabbatot Tebimot Yana. Seven Sabbaths shall be complete, perfect. Shinyana lis kadesh b'kedusha shamala, the aspect of becoming holy with the holiness of above. Kamosha perush apasuk usfartem lachem, and just like the interpretation of the sentence usfartem lachem, you should count for yourself. Sfartem ilashon sapir v'halom. The word is sfartem, to count, is from the language of sapir. Is yalom. It's like a beautiful stone and a diamond. Usfartem lachem laha'ir es inyani lachem. You count to light up all of the aspects of your life. Hanyonim hagashmim v'arshus shikadushim kekarboros hakravim b'mizbeach v'heichal. To make even the mundane things, the material things, holy, just like the holy sacrifices in the base of Mikdash and on the Mizbeach. We get to this through these 7 Shabbatot of the Sefira. Shabbos Kodesh, Mamshicha Kedusha al Klal Yisrael, because Shabbos, as is well known, brings holiness to all of Yisrael. Chamer Mor HaKadosh B'Purity, as he said, Kodeshi Lachem Shabbos HaMalka, the Sabbath queen shall be holy to you. B'Shabbos Afil Inyai Lachem Hem Gam Ken Kadosh. On Shabbos, even those things that you think you're doing for yourself, they can also reach a level of holiness. Klomar, Lo Rak Tohar El Kodesh, not only purity, but holiness. It says about Shabbos, it was the beginning of the holy assemblies. Sharot Lios Nikra, the Dargas Kodesh, Hitchalta Lezeh, Hirak B'Shabbos. To reach the level of holiness, you have to begin, first of all, with Shabbos. As it said in the Torah, on the 7th day of Shabbos, God made it holy. Shabbos Kodesh, He ma'ayin u'makor HaKedusha shekol harotz lios kodesh yamshuch b'menu kedusha. The Shabbos is the well from, and the holy spot of holiness from where we can bring down the holiness into our lives. U'lechein hachana ha'ikara, the Kabbalah Satorah, the most important work for receiving the Torah, are through these 7 Shabbos between Pesach and Shavuot, where we're counting the Sefira. You'll reach the whole purpose of Am Yisrael, which is V'atem tiyu li mamlechas kahana v'goy kodesh. You will be for me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. This preparation comes from the well springs of these 7 Shabbatot, which are the well springs of holiness. These Shabbatot shall be perfect. Because through these Shabbos we'll reach a level of holiness, which is a higher level of Kedusha higher than Tahara, higher than purity. Kamosha Biarnu, Inyam Omer Chazal, as the Chazal, the sages told us, God said to the Bnei Israel, Matana Tova Yeshli B'Bayis Gidzi. The Shabbos, I have a great present for you. And Shabbos, it's hidden away, and Shabbos is its name. B'Menes Yachta Shabbos Batur Matana Tova. Why is Shabbos referred to as a wonderful present? The Meromas Bezeh Amadregos HaKedusha, because this hints at the level of holiness. The Messiah Shisharim, as it says in Messiah Shisharim in his verse, he said before, a person cannot reach this level by himself, a level of Kedusha. All we can do is to begin our ishtadlut, begin our efforts to reach this level, and then after that, God will give us the rest of it with as a present. If a person does the work that is fitting for him, Azai, Nosan HaKadosh Baruch Hu Matana, Hashem will raise us, give us a present of holiness. Matana Zu Nidna Al Yedei Shabbos Kodesh Shi Matana Tova. This present comes through the present of Shabbos, which is a great present. Bechinas V'Sofa Matana. In the end, when you begin and you're working towards something and you try to do it, you don't have to worry. You don't worry, I have to get there all by myself. No, once you start, God will help you as a present. Shim techilasu ishtadlus. If at the beginning you're trying, you're doing your ishtadlut. All week long you're working to reach the level of tahara, of purity, by separating yourself from those bad things. Then in return for that, as a present for that, notim lo b'Shabbos matana es dargas hakdusha. God will give us Shabbos, which enables us to reach this level of holiness. The aspect of these weeks shall be pure, it shall be complete. All of the Shabbatos, all the Shabbatot before the receiving of the Torah shall be perfect, shall be complete. Valdas the Sefira b'Sefira Kodesh ala pasuk Machalela Mos Yamus. Anybody who violates Shabbos shall surely be put to death. Also Chilal b'Shabbos means somebody who's doing a profanity of Shabbos. Chamamar and Sabakodesh b'Slom Shalenu Shirega Echad Shel Shabbos Kodesh. He says 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 moment of the holy Shabbos, where you're doing a mitzvah, whether it's studying Torah, just enjoying Shabbos. Chashuv b'kama shal b'meichol. It's equal to many, many, many hours during the week time. In other words, if you study Torah for 1 hour on Shabbos, it's like studying 1,000 hours during the week. Unbelievable. Every Shabbos has to be complete. But more specifically, those Shabbatot before receiving the Torah. Sheva Shabbosos Tevimos Siena, as the pasuk says, you shall have these 7 perfect Shabbatot. God created creation, but often she'ein shlemus b'shum chelek b'bria. In the aspect that there's nothing perfect by itself in creation. She called over ba'olam chaser shlemus. Everything is missing something. It needs another pair. The reason for this is because the reality of this world is lo yitake davar b'shlam. Nothing is complete. Therefore, we can't reach a level of completion in any way. Yisrael as a Shabbos, Yisrael. But God has given us the Shabbos, which is the soul of all of Yisrael. the Nishmas Kol Torah, and the soul of the Torah, Shebakocho, through that power, through the power of Shabbos and the power of Torah, Yachol Yehudi Lagi L'Shleimos, you can reach a level of perfection. The Efsher Lahagia Letachlis Hashlemos Rak Mikok Shabbosos Tamimos. You can only reach this level through these complete and perfect Shabbatot. Zeh Omru Sheva Shabbosos Tamimos Tieri Shabbos. These 7 Shabbatot of the Sefira shall be perfect. Shabbat Elu. Shekodim Kabbalas Torah Yud Tamimim Lo Chil Bayam. You shouldn't have any profanity. They should be complete in the service of God. How you're observing Shabbos. These Shabbatot should be on a higher level. V'zemei Yehuda the Kabbalah Torah V'shlemas, and that will bring you to receive the Torah perfectly. HaShabbatot shekodem Kabbalas Torah hem ikar hachana l'Kabbalas Torah. How do you prepare for receiving the Torah? And Netivot Shalom says these 7 Shabbatot, this is the main way of preparing to receive the Torah. Kamoshamer Morana Melchovitz Chuzilenu, he says, Devach v'Devach Atzah Shabbos. This week we have Shabbos. Ukamrumas Ravim Chazal, the sages have hinted, the Kuli Alma b'Shabbos Nitna Torah Yisrael. To everybody on Shabbos, the Torah was given to Israel. The 6th of Sivan, on the time of Kabbalas Torah, was a Shabbos. Shabbos Kodesh Draga Shalemus. Shabbos, Holy Shabbos, has a level of perfection. Torah Draga Shalemus, and the Torah has a level of perfection. K'mod Amar, as it says, Torah Hashem Tamima, says until them, the Torah of God is perfect, complete. B'koach lagia leTorah hirak b'koach haShabbos, and you can only reach that level through the power of Shabbos. Shatori b'chinas nishma, b'chinas neshama. Torah is the aspect of the neshama, of the soul of a Jew. But Shabbos is b'chinas neshama, and the Shabbos is also the aspect of the soul. Al kain yesh b'hem darga tmeimah. So we have both coming together to form a perfect match, shlemus, of completion. Lechein haShabbatot haima ikar hachana lekabbalas Torah. Therefore, these 7 Shabbatot are the main thing in preparation for receiving the Torah. The Marumas came b'hemshech hapasuk, and this is also hinted at the continuation of the sentence in the Torah. It says, Sheva Shabbatot Timinos Tiyana, 7 complete Shabbat there shall be. Bikravta mincha chadash shel Hashem, and then you'll be able to bring a new offering to Hashem. Mincha chadasha, this new offering, hi Torah kadosh, hadara shel shlemus. The mincha chadash, the new offering, is the complete Torah, the Torah of perfection. Vasheva shabbos tmemos mevios Yehudi likravtam mincha chadash l'Hashem. These 7 Shabbosos will tune a person up to be able to bring an offering to Hashem, the Tachlis Hashlemos, and the perfection of having completed these 7 weeks, raising to the highest possible level, so that you can then reach this level of Kedusha needed to receive the Torah. We know that Kedusha attaches to Kedusha. Kedusha doesn't attach to Tumah. Kedusha, holiness, doesn't attach to something that is attached to something that is defiled. Only Kedusha. So we want to work during these 7 weeks of Sefira, during the weeks, to get rid of all the bad habits, to try to come closer to God, to try to purify yourself. That's the level of Tahara. And then the Shabbos give us the ability to reach the level of holiness. So with both Tahara and with purity and holiness, we'll be able to be fitting to receive the Torah anew. Thank you for listening. I'm going to stop the recording right now. Wish everybody a wonderful Shabbos.